Straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show, why has the ICC, or the International Cricket Council, put USA Cricket on notice? But that's not the only embarrassment that USA Cricket has to endure. Reports suggest that there has been a review of the T20 World Cup and things are not looking good. More on that in the show. We continue our special coverage of the Olympics. Who are the top stars to watch out for in the Paris edition and are set to dazzle us? And is there any dark horse that we need to look out for? And is Bella Hadid set to sue Adidas for removing her from their ad campaign? This despite Adidas issuing an apology. Either way, the brand finds itself in a hot mess once again, this time over their campaign that has triggered Israel and Palestine supporters. Stay on for more on this, but first a look at the headlines in Sports 360. Starting with news from Olympics, four-time NBA champion LeBron James will be Team USA's male flag bearer at the Paris Olympics. He was chosen after a vote approved by US athletes. This will be the fourth time James will be featuring at the event. He's a three-time Olympic medalist, having won gold twice in his career. COVID has hit the Paris Olympics. An Australian water polo athlete has tested positive. She's been isolated, but her identity has not been revealed. The country's Olympic team says the athlete's teammates would be wearing masks and ensuring social distancing. Indian shooting legend Abhinav Bindra has been awarded the Olympic Order by the International Olympic Committee. It was for his outstanding contributions to the Olympic movement. The award is the highest accolade bestowed by the IOC. It will officially be given to Bindra on August 10th, a day before Paris Olympics closes. Over in football, Lionel Messi has been ruled out of the Major League Soccer All-Star game due to an ankle injury. He's still recovering from the niggle that he picked up during the Copa America final. Messi's Inter Miami teammate Luis Suarez too is set to miss this one due to a discomfort in his knee. The MLS All-Stars game is an exhibition match featuring top players from the league. And over in cricket, Scotland's Charlie Cassell recorded the best bowling figures by a men's one-day international debutant. He achieved this feat during Scotland's 8-wicket win over Oman. Cassell picked 7 for 21. He broke Kagiso Rabada's record of 6 for 16 for South Africa. There's a lot happening in the United States of America. They have been making headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. The country is in the middle of a political upheaval, with Joe Biden finally dropping out of the re-election battle, an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and gun violence just not receding. But amid all of this chaos, USA Cricket Association is under immense scrutiny. Now let me give you the latest before delving into the why. ICC has put the USA Cricket Association on notice. This is first of all a very grave issue. ICC says USA Association has not been compliant with the ICC's membership rules. They've faulted on two counts: governance and executive and administrative structure. They've not complied with the norms of the USA Olympic and Paralympic Committee. That is a prerequisite to get recognized as a national governing body to be a part of the 2028 Olympic Games in LA, where, remember, cricket has been included in the T20 format. The second reason, of course, is the non-appointment of a CEO in their functioning. USA Cricket have 12 months to rectify this non-compliant status of theirs and bring things in order. But we are jumping ahead here. The point is to look back at what has led to this, because everyone would see this as a bit of a surprise development that comes just weeks after the country co-hosted the first ever Cricket World Cup there. And even though the World Cup in America was meant to create the optics of cricket finally reaching foreign shores, entering uncharted territory, the association failed to deliver on many fronts. Let me remind you that what a horror World Cup it was if you were hosting the tournament in the USA. The drop-in pitches were below par. At one point, it was termed dangerous to play on. Commentators felt it was not up to the mark. Even players were displeased with the pitches on offer, especially at such a competitive tournament as a World Cup. The Indian cricket team were also upset with the facilities being provided to all the teams. The practice grounds had appalling pitches, no proper food or ancillary facilities for the media covering all the net sessions. The planning was horrid and execution below par. Indian cricketers had to step out of their hotel to train at a gym nearby because of poor gym facilities at their hotel. It was not just India. Sri Lanka complained of horrible scheduling. At one time, they were stranded at the airport for over 10 hours. Pakistan team had to change their hotel as they had been put up at a place far away from the stadium. The logistics, safe to say, was not up to the mark. There was also that whole matter of the terror threats that was coming in and security being under question. Then, of course, we come to the grouse of the spectators. Many couldn't even afford the ticket prices that New York in particular, among the other venues in America, were asking. The cheapest ticket price for India versus Pakistan game was $300 and the most expensive ran into thousands, $10,000, that too on the official website. Of course, the ticket pricing on other websites and the resale tickets was exorbitant, even surpassing many other sporting events that USA has hosted in the past, including the Super Bowl and the big NBA face-offs. These were the issues as far as New York was concerned. Moving on to the other two venues, Florida and Dallas. Dallas escaped a lot of the scrutiny as it was a very small stadium and it did not host too many high-profile encounters. Florida, though, came under scathing criticisms for their lack of facilities, as most of the games here all got washed out and they had lack of drainage post these showers. The wet outfield refused to dry up and there was very poor infrastructure in place to resolve this. Speaking of the T20 World Cup itself, the ICC is reportedly seen to have incurred a loss of over $20 million for conducting matches in New York, Florida and Dallas. It's learned that the allocated budget for the US leg of the tournament was $150 million and it was found that the budget had overshot the amount by a fair distance. This was red flagged by some of the members of the ICC. The three-member committee that was put in place to review the T20 World Cup will look into the role of some of the ICC officials as well as some of the tenders that has raised concerns. And this isn't the first time USA Cricket has faced such embarrassment. They were expelled in 2017 by the ICC due to governance and financing issues. Although they attained associate member status in 2019, it's safe to say that some matters don't really die down. Seems like these issues have come back to haunt cricket in the country again, just when their team was showing some promise and was doing well at the World Cup. And with cricket again going to America via the Olympics in LA in 2028, there is much ground to cover to avoid another embarrassing chapter for USA and cricket. In less than 4 days, the city of Paris will be no less than a galaxy filled with stars. The best in the world, all under one roof. Hundreds of them, all champions in their respective disciplines, and of course many newbies too, waiting to make a mark. So who are the top candidates here, the superstars to watch out for when the games come around? You must keep your eyes peeled for. Who are most likely to strike gold? All eyes are on athletics. It has the biggest draw, especially the 100 meters dash, 200 meters event and relay races. They are exciting and the crowd really gets in on the action. And the one leading the charge here is Noah Lyles. The 27-year-old runner is not just a US sensation, but is also on his way to becoming a sporting icon. Ever since Usain Bolt retired in 2017, the sport needed a face. And Noah comes closest to being Bolt's successor, not just for the charisma he brings to the track, but also his performances. After finishing third in the 2020 Olympics, Noah has only gone one way, and that's up. He achieved the treble of 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4x100-meter relay team events at last year's World Championship. The American would be eyeing to repeat that jaw-dropping feat at the Olympics too. And who knows, he could even add a fourth medal in the 4x400-meter category. But he isn't the only US athlete gunning for gold. When you talk about gymnastics, you cannot look past her. One of the most decorated athletes in the world, Biles is arguably the greatest of all time, and she is far from being done. At 27, she's moving stronger than ever, despite the horrific Tokyo Olympics where Biles was forced to pull out. The gymnast has already won 4 gold medals in different categories and has won 39 medals across her stunningly inspiring career. Biles' Paris comeback is bound to add more to her tally. And switching focus to swimming, the focus will be on Katie Ledecky. Again, all of 27, the Paris Olympics would be Ledecky's 4th. That's right, and just like the previous editions, Ledecky isn't just an Olympian, she participates to win. The swimmer has won 7 gold medals across her 3 Olympic Games. Ledecky's dominance in 2 events sets her apart from her contemporaries. From the 800-meter freestyle to 1,500, Ledecky dominates the pool, and she will set her targets high right from the moment she leads her contingent out as the flag bearer, moving on from one flag bearer of USA to the other, her male compatriot. A star-studded lineup with LeBron James, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. They'll take center stage in Paris when we speak of basketball. Even with stiff competition from Serbia, the US team will start as strong favorites. And with James, Durant and Curry playing their last, it will be rather an emotional outing for this bunch, who look to give a fitting tribute to the legends. And speaking of legends, tennis will be filled with plenty of them this time in Paris, but a youngster will start as favorites to bag the gold. Despite the presence of Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray, Alcaraz is the biggest contender here for gold. While an emotional Nadal and Murray, who are playing their last Olympics, might give Alcaraz a tough competition, Alcaraz, having won Wimbledon and French Open, is on a high. He will also have a chance to possibly win a medal in the doubles category, where he will pair up with his mentor, Rafael Nadal. So maybe a fitting farewell to Nadal's Olympic career too. But some legendary players' absence has been grabbing all the headlines. Lionel Messi opted out of the Olympics due to injuries, and Kylian Mbappe too is giving this a skip. So let's turn our attention to women's football, shall we? The current world champion would be looking to add more glory to Spain's historic year. After their men's team won the Euros, the women's team are prime contenders for gold. And with the best women's footballer in the team, Aitana Bonmati, an absolute legend of the game, to lead her side, Spain will want to create history here because they've never won a medal in football. While these were some of the big gold medal prospects in Paris, there are a few notable names that would dominate the medal tally and create some flutter. Kenya's marathon runner Eliud Kipchoge leads the list. After winning gold in the 500 meters category in 2016 and 2020, Kipchoge will be aiming for a 3rd consecutive gold. Can table tennis even be the sport we see it to be without Ma Long's contributions? With 5 golds already, the 35-year-old is heading into a 4th Olympics. Then there is Sweden's Armand Duplantis. The pole vaulter has been in sensational form ever since he broke the world record in 2020. He's won nearly every competition he has competed in, including Tokyo Olympics. The list, of course, just doesn't end here. There are plenty more athletes waiting to make a mark. Just a few days left for things to kick off, and we here at Firstpost will give you extensive coverage, right from analysis to decoding controversies and getting you up close and personal with the big winners, all on Mission Paris. The countdown to Olympics continues, but amid the excitement, controversies aren't far behind. The Olympics may have vowed to bring the world together, but the wars have cornered athletes of certain countries like Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Israel and Palestine. The situation is so intense that even a seemingly nondescript campaign from a sportswear brand can spark fury, bringing them to their knees to apologize. Adidas is at the heart of this. They received severe backlash for their SL72 sneaker ads, the same sneakers that bear a link to the 1972 Munich Olympics. The ad, which featured American actor Bella Hadid, has had a massive fallout. Many questioned why Hadid, who has frequently voiced her support towards Palestine, was chosen as the face of the campaign, because Munich Olympics can only be remembered for the catastrophic event where a Palestinian terrorist group killed 11 Israeli athletes. Ironically, Israeli athletes at this Paris Olympics too have been sent death threats. What's the rage over the ad campaign though? Well, What's all of that about, and can Adidas surface from this one?
When Adidas started their ad campaign for their latest SL72 shoes, they thought they were paying an innocent tribute to the 1972 Munich Olympics, as the SL72 is a modern version of the originally designed shoes that were used during the 1972 Games. The Munich Olympics may have been close to Germany and the sportswear brand Adidas, sure, as it was the last time Germany hosted an Olympics event. But the very same games can be triggering for both Israel and the sporting world at large, as 11 Israeli athletes were killed by a Palestinian terrorist group during the Games. But that was not the only thing that critics of the ad had an issue with. With Bella Hadid as the face of the campaign, pro-Israeli supporters lambasted the sportswear brand. Hadid, who has Palestinian roots through her father, has often voiced her support towards Palestine and has been critical of Israel's war. But the backlash Adidas received was immense. Even the Israeli government questioned the sportswear brand's intentions. For everyone watching the campaign, everything was all wrong. The shoes, the face of the ad campaign, and the timing. Israeli athletes set to participate at the Games have received death threats, prompting the Israeli government to deploy armed agents as protection. So Adidas seems to have touched a raw nerve with this campaign. They were forced to issue an apology, but that was not all. They went ahead and removed Hadid from the campaign. Adidas assumed that removing Hadid from the ad campaign would control the damage and salvage the situation, but this too backfired. The pro-Palestinian supporters alleged that the brand was engaging in silencing tactics, saying Adidas was against voices of Palestinian heritage. And so the company, who is already backpedaling, had to issue yet another apology to Bella Hadid and others associated with the campaign. Although Hadid hasn't given any official word on the seemingly botched up campaign, reports say that the supermodel is planning to take legal action against the brand. Their SL72 campaign has clearly ended up being a total disaster. Adidas not only upset the Israeli supporters with their campaign, but also riled up pro-Palestinian groups. They inadvertently brought the two warring groups together, and now both are accusing Adidas of their ignorance. Not the first time the company has found itself in troubled waters though. Before the football tournament Euros, Adidas's jersey for Germany's campaign faced a lot of flack for their number 44 jersey that was fashioned similar to the Nazi symbol, a unit that was responsible for mass killing that included millions of Jews. A major faux pas by Adidas, who now seem to make getting into trouble a bit of a habit. The Olympics has not even kicked off and the atmosphere is already tense. Palestine continues to voice their opinion on Israel's participation at the Olympics. And Israeli athletes are playing the games under heavy security arrangements. All Adidas has done is succeeded in adding more fuel to the fire.
Time for Last Serve. There are so many inspiring stories that are bound to come out of the Olympics once the events kickstart. Today, though, ahead of it, we bring you a glimpse of a 14-year-old Aussie skater, Chloe Covell, who's all set to make her Olympic debut in Paris. What a dream come true moment for the teenager.
I'm definitely a little nervous because it's like the biggest stage, like it's the biggest competition, and there's like just famous people walking around everywhere, but also very excited.
That wraps it up here on Firstpost. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree. One tree for humanity. One tree for Mother Earth. One tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished. Obviously today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We'll start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. The first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.